Dolphins fans, y'all know where I stand. Y'all know where Joy stands. Y'all know where this show stands. But let me stand up tall. Miami Dolphins have now one of the best rosters in all of football. The Miami Dolphins are undefeated when Tua starts and finishes games. The Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills. Mind you, they beat the Buffalo Bills with an injured Tua Tagovailoa. The only game that the Bills have lost all season, they lost at the hands of the Miami Dolphins. What are the Miami Dolphins' weaknesses? They can't really rush the passer, and thus they have to blitz. What did they just get? A sack master who's capable of getting 2 sacks in a game on any given game. The Miami Dolphins, they need a better running back duo. They lost Chase Edmonds in the trade. So what did they get? They got Jeff Wilson, a dude that averages 5.1 yards a touch. Remember the San Francisco 49ers recipe in 2019 when they went to the Super Bowl? They had 3 running backs with over 500 yards, 2 wide receivers with over 700 yards. They were balanced. Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator for the 49ers, now head coach for the Miami Dolphins. What does he have a recipe of? 2 receivers on pace for 1,500 yards and 2 running backs now on pace for 900 yards. The Miami Dolphins are capable of doing things that no other team in football, including the Chiefs and including the Bills, can do. If Tua Tagovailoa is as good as I believe he is, the Miami Dolphins are on the exact same level as the Chiefs and the Bills. And you are not crazy as a fan to say that they are a level above the Bills because you play to win the game. And when both teams played, the Miami Dolphins won. Albeit at home, the Miami Dolphins won nonetheless. Let's go to you, Joy Taylor. You spent far too much time in Miami, but thankfully you're in L.A. now.
I don't think it was far too much time.
I mean, but you might not have been here for some more.
I go to Miami a lot.
You might not have been here, Joy. You might not have been here. Talk to me. I know you are ecstatic. I saw your tweets. If y'all haven't, check them out as well. Did the moves that the Dolphins made put the Chiefs and the Bills on alert? Did the moves put the Dolphins on the Chiefs and Bills level? I'm excited. I apologize.
Yeah, well, I think both works. I think they did put the Chiefs and Bills on alert, although the Chiefs and Bills should have already been on alert, particularly the Bills, since, as you mentioned, they already lost to the Miami Dolphins. But yeah, the Dolphins are on the Chiefs and Bills level. Also, I'm throwing the Eagles in there as well, but obviously we're sticking to the AFC. You mentioned it. Every game that Tua has started and finished, they've won. So Tua is undefeated. You're not going to count the Cincinnati game. Started and finished, they've won. Dolphins fans deserve this. Congratulations, Dolphins fans. You can have a real conversation about being real contenders and not have that looming anxiety that comes with being a Dolphins fan because of the way that things have played out year after year with organizational failures, with mistakes, with players not panning out. It's here. We've finally arrived. Tua is a legitimate franchise quarterback, and the organization is going all in on him and putting pieces around him to help him be successful. Tyreek Hill. I mean, look at that matchup. Look at how that's worked out for the two of them. Yeah. Mike McDaniel, an offensive coach who clearly is on the same page with Tua. Yeah. Now, as I'm often reminded, I was not completely sold on Tua up until this year. Now, I did say the Dolphins were going to make the playoffs, and I did say Tua was going to be much better this year before the season, but let's not argue semantics. The point is, he has not only silenced the critics, he's playing at a tremendous level, but what the organization is doing, who I've been very critical of, and now I have to give credit where it's due, Chris Greer has turned those picks into Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and now Chubb.
That's big.
You can struggle and then fix things. You can overcome. And that's what the Dolphins organization is doing. That's what Mike McDaniel is doing. By the way, it's a first-time head coach, which we don't mention because he's been so great. Yeah. We don't talk about him with Daboll and the other first-time head coaches. This is a first-time head coach. It's really tremendous what he's doing. Going into a dysfunctional situation, and Tua has proven he's a franchise quarterback. So absolutely the Dolphins are on the Chiefs and Bills level.
2-5. You played for the Chiefs. You played for the Bills. Won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. You know there's levels to this stuff. I say that politically correctly. Are the Dolphins on the Chiefs and Bills level?
Yes, they are. They're in the same room. Now, like you said, there's always levels, though. Like, let's not get too crazy. But I do think that adding Bradley Chubbs, right? I think with a team, you need a high-paced offense, especially nowadays. It's not like the old days. You could just have a great running attack, great defense, and that's it. Put 10 points up and can win playoff games, win championships. No. You got to have an offense. They have 2 guys on the outside that's super fast or lights out. That's balling. You have a solid quarterback with Tua. And now you got your pass rusher, which is Bradley Chubb. So I think, I look the same thing with the Bills. They have Josh Allen, they have Diggs, and they have Von Miller. So I like them to be in the same category. And there's still levels. I do think the Chiefs, and then the Bills, and then Miami, and then the Eagles. Well, other than that, it's levels, and I do think they're on the same level.
Dave, before I get to you, Shady, real quick, you saw the Bills lose to the Dolphins, albeit early. It happened, it mattered.
Yeah, okay.
What is it that still keeps the Chiefs or the Bills, in your mind, above the Dolphins?
Well, first of all, divisional games are always tough.
Exactly right.
And it's rare you get a lot of sweeps, right? Unless it's, Tom Brady back in the day, sweeping everybody. So they win at home, the Dolphins, which they should. They're in Miami. I think the Bills will win when they go to Buffalo. The Dolphin players, they hate when it gets cold out. I witnessed that firsthand. But yeah, I think they have the better quarterback. I think they have the better team. Although Miami has a lot of talent.
They do.
It's close. I would just have to bend to the quarterback. And I think the coach, Sean McDermott, has been in longer. He has his type of team he really wants. So,
Dave, break down the nuances. You've heard it from the person that lived in Miami, the person that's obsessed with Miami, the person that played for the Bills. Break down the nuances of all of this. Does this move put the Dolphins with the elite of elite?
I love to get into the semantics of it. That's my favorite thing to do. And look, I mean, you can't argue from a pure talent perspective. I think the Dolphins are right there with anybody. I mean, they got the best receiver duo in the league. Certainly one of them.
Yeah.
Tua looks like a stud. And Joy, such an amazing point that didn't even occur to me. The Dolphins are just throwing away their draft capital. This to me is an indication they are invested in Tua. They are ready to move forward with him. So you've got your quarterback in place. I assume it would be very weird if they let him go after all of this. They've got playmakers on every level of the defense now. I mean, Xavier Howard's still there. Now they have Bradley Chubb to add. I'm not going to call him a superstar. I'm such a huge fan of Javon Holland. Mike Gesicki is sort of taking steps forward these last few weeks. The talent is there. They already beat the Bills. When you say level, though, level to me means you're in the playoffs on September 10th. Week 1, we're with the Bills and the Chiefs, they're going to be there. We know they're going to be there. Can't say that about the Dolphins yet. Not because they don't have the talent. They just haven't done it. I can't give you that sort of credit until you've proven it. I mean, the Dolphins, it's not their fault because Tua got hurt, but they have fallen behind the Bills in the East. So they're sharing a division with a juggernaut. Not saying they can't win the division, but they're going to be up against it. They might have to go on the road to start the playoffs. So my only point with that is, if I can manage through this distraction, my only point with that is that this is the type of thing that just takes years and years to prove. The Chiefs have been doing it consistently since 2018. The Dolphins haven't been a regular in the playoffs since Dan Marino was there.
The only person I know who could talk on television with a fly literally attached to their head. Incredible effort there. Shady, let me come to you real quick. Joy, can't wait for you to chime in on this one. I think the Miami Dolphins have the best skill positions in the National Football League, all things included. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson. You got a tight end that was worthy of a franchise tag, a first-round pick wide receiver, another all-pro wide receiver, a running back that was a former 60-meter indoor champion at Purdue and Raheem Mostert, and another running back averaging 5.10 yards per touch, and a quarterback that was a top-5 pick. When I look at all of that, I say to myself, it will be very, 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 very hard to stop. The only thing that stopped the Dolphins thus far is injury. That's it.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
You were with the Chiefs. You talked to me about the Bills, but you were with the Chiefs. I see those two teams prototype very similarly. Explosive offenses, defenses that have some playmakers, but still kind of Can the Dolphins be better than the Chiefs? Let's not talk about the Bills just yet. Let's talk about the other big dogs that you got to go by.
That's a tough one, man. And I've been critical of the Chiefs' offense, but not having Tyreek Hill and what it would look like. And they're still rolling. And this looks different, right? I can't put them ahead of the Chiefs. Same class, though. I think, I think a Bentley, Rolls Royce, it's still nice cars, right? Joy, Miami, you'll jump in one.
There's a little bit of a price difference.
But there's a difference. And I think in this case, Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes is in the Rolls Royce. And the Miami guys, which there's a lot of them. Because I do think they have the fastest offense in football.
Yeah, of course.
The Dolphins.
Of course.
But they're in the Bentley.
Okay, Joy, you have been a Dolphins fan, but you always say the Dolphins, they get you all excited and then they let you down. They get you excited, they let you down. You're not drinking Cowboys Kool-Aid because the Cowboys do the same thing. But you getting drunk on this Dolphins Kool-Aid.
Well, yeah, but I know how this hangover goes. So, I know how much to drink before it gets to be too much.
Why is this Dolphins team different?
Well, first of all, I think to Dave's point, the moves that they're making would indicate that they're all in. And a big problem with the way that Tua's career has gone, and it's to no fault of his own, is that the organization was not in on him. And I think that's part of the reason why he had some struggles early. Mm-hmm. You put Ryan Fitzpatrick out there first, then you put Tua out. Then you bench Tua for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yep. Then you spend all year last year talking about Deshaun Watson. Then you lose a pick for tampering for bringing in Tom Brady. They were never all in on him, which was always very confusing to me. Why take him as high as you did in the draft to not invest and put pieces around him? Every other quarterback that's been taken has gone through that. Even Jalen Hurts. They got A.J. Brown. And that was this year. But you've seen Josh Allen. They get Stephon Diggs. What has been brought in for Justin Herbert? What they do for Joe Burrow? And it's always like, here, Tua, go do everything, but we're kind of in on you, but we're kind of not, and the coach isn't in on you, and the front office is letting these trade rumors go around. So it was all a very slow buildup. It doesn't seem that way anymore. These moves indicate to me, we have our guy at the quarterback position. Let's load up. We feel like we're contenders this year. Let's not be shy. Let's be aggressive and make intentional moves. Like, they're running the organization like they want to win and be all in and be convincing and convince fans, convince me that this is real. So that's why it feels like it's real now. And they look like a team. They play like a team that is in the modern NFL, to Shady's point. The offense looks like a team that can hang with the Chiefs, that can hang with the Bills. And now you're investing in the defense at the trade deadline, which was the one thing, to your point, there was a question about that. They couldn't get pressure on the quarterback without blitzes. You're not going to be able to do that when you're going up against a Josh Allen and a Patrick Mahomes. And when are you going to see them in the postseason when it matters? So to me, that's why the Dolphins feel like they're for real this time around. And that margarita is tasty. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.